Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and as was promised to us on Tuesday when we got the big announcement for the Division 2's upcoming content, today we have the first installation of the Intelligence Annex dev blog posts, which are going to lead us up to the release of the new content, and today they're talking about the Specialization Revamp. I just got a chance to glance over this before I hit record, and I think we're in for a treat, guys. This update is going to be something special, so let's just dive into it right now and not waste any more time. Intelligence Annex Specialization Revamp. Agents. Okay, all that stuff we already know, and it's saying that today Trick Dempsey, who we all know, expert game designer, is going to be leading us through kind of their thoughts with the Specialization Revamp. I'm going to cover most of this because it is all very relevant, so strap in, and we'll get to it. In the last few years, we've dedicated a lot of time to researching the builds used by players in both PvE and PvP content, and we've concluded that specializations are today not reaching their full potential. Yet, our objective with specializations is to empower players to create agents who match their playstyle preferences. With our next update, specializations will greatly improve both build diversity and player choice. To do this, we will be splitting up specialization progression into a linear level and a specialization tree. That is the important part. That's what I've been saying. We need it all along. All right, let's get into it. The linear level progression. In the current design, much of the existing specialization tree is mandatory. Yes, you get everything, and inherently it can't be as powerful because you don't have to make any choices. Agents can spend their points into improving signature weapon damage and ammo acquisition, also requiring to manually add and remove individual elements whenever you decide to try out new weapons. To better fit with our ambition to create a more bespoke experience for all specializations, these elements will be moving into a strictly linear level system. This is where you'll unlock your skill variants, specialization sidearm and upgrades, and signature weapon power. All of this, this is where the power increase comes from. Perks will be moved here once they've been reviewed and tuned. Once you've unlocked these benefits, they will remain permanently on your character as long as you have that specialization active. This linear progression will also reward you with specialization points to spend in the new specialization tree. Let's go! The specialization tree. Thanks to the addition of the linear progression system, we will be entirely reviewing the specialization tree to provide a stronger focus on customization and choice to the players. Importantly, there will not be enough specialization points to purchase every perk on the tree. Instead, you'll need to choose what perks best fit your playstyle. That is what I've been saying since year one, that this system needed in order to make it more integral to the build system, and I am so glad we're finally getting it. And there are some pretty big things in here, so let's cover it. The specialization tree focuses on 3 elements: signature weapons, armor kits, and grenades. For grenades and armor kits, we want to provide alternate uses for these consumables which may be triggered instantly, in addition to their standard behavior. Now, I don't entirely know what this means. Let's read the next sentence. The tree permit agents to pick whether their armor kits and grenades have these alternate quick uses and invest additional specialization points to improve them. Does this mean instant armor kits? Guys, I'm not entirely sure. From what I read just a second ago, they don't actually fully dive into it, but if this means instant armor kits, that's big. I wasn't expecting something like that to be added to the game, but that's kind of what this makes it sound like, and so we may very well be getting that to the Division 2, instant armor kits like people have been wanting for a long time, which is incredibly big. For the signature weapons, we want to allow players to customize their behavior and to invest specialization points to increase the impact those choices might have. This would be a meaningless addition without the ability to make named enemies vulnerable to signature weapon damage, so we're implementing a system to make that possible. There you go. A lot of people have been complaining about the lack of power behind specialization weapons, specifically with named enemies, since they tuned that down with Warlords, I want to say, and this is making the return. And then here, I never thought they would do this. Honestly, now that Redstorm is not here, I never thought they would touch stuff like this in PvP, but next paragraph says, additionally, we want the whole specialization tree to be valid in all game modes, and this means we are reintroducing these signature weapons to PvP. We want all players to enjoy benefit, that's a typo, from these new balancing efforts and improve experience. To avoid seeing signature weapons become the ultimate ambush tools, agents will be treated the same way as named enemies when it comes to signature weapon damage. This will require significant balancing and tuning, so we will be watching build and player performance closely. What I assume that means is that they're going to function similarly to the current system, where named enemies take significantly reduced damage from spec weapons. But what's kind of weird is that the paragraph right above says there are ways to make enemies vulnerable. So maybe what they're trying to do here is, I don't know, they might be trying to do it so that in the tree you have specific ways in which you can make named enemies and players vulnerable to the true power of spec weapons for a limited amount of time. And in that way it'll be not overpowered because you're not just constantly going to be able to run up and one-shot someone with a grenade launcher. Massive has taken on a big deal trying to reintroduce spec weapons into PvP. That was something Redstorm didn't even try to do. They just took them out of PvP. So yeah, this will be really interesting. I like the idea of it. I think it has a lot of potential, but it of course has to be done right, and I'm very interested to see what their full plans and thoughts that are. The power of choice. While a specialization and a signature weapon are tied, that would no longer be true for their mods, skill variants, and sidearms anymore. By sufficiently leveling up a specialization in that linear path that they just talked about, you will unlock these formerly specialization restricted specific items for use by other specializations. This is really awesome. Want to, and they give an example right here, want to use the Artificer Hive with the mortar turret while wielding the Survivalist D50, you will be able to do just that. And that's really awesome. I think there's a certain amount of coolness to having some stuff be exclusive to different specs, but it just becomes cumbersome at some point to have to try and go and swap each one and figure out what you want to do. So having this freedom for those types of things within the specialization, that's going to be really cool. As you might guess, these changes, among other exciting improvements to come with our next update, are quite complex topics to handle, and we want to take the time to deliver the best experience for you all. In the meantime, good hunting, Trick Dempsey, expert game designer. There you have it, guys. And at the end, they remind us that there will be another one of these installments next month, assumingly to handle another topic beyond specializations for this new update. And this was really awesome. If this is the type of stuff we're receiving every month leading up to the launch of the update, I'm super hyped. And this, like I said, this is really huge. The standouts for me in this are the specialization perk tree, which I've been saying for so long. There needs to be choice with the system to make it more valuable. So glad we're getting at. Apparently we're getting instant armor kits. Again, the wording is kind of iffy, but it seems like that's what we're getting, and I am kind of shocked by that. But there we go. They're reintroducing specialization weapons into PvP. Again, pretty shocked by that, but we're going to see how they handle it. And then there will no longer be restrictions for stuff like the specific skill mods and the sidearms. Couldn't think of the word. But yeah, you'll be able to mix and match those between whatever specialization you want after you do the linear upgrade path within each specialization. So that's pretty huge, guys, but that does about cover all of the information released in this first Intelligence Annex for the Specialization Revamp. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. This is really huge news. And like I said, this is a lot more. I predicted they might go a separate way with this, where they kind of made it all one big tree, but this is not what I could have expected at all. For them to reintroduce these into PvP to do maybe instant armor kits and some of this other stuff, it just all sounds really awesome. I can't wait to talk about it more with you guys in the coming weeks and months, but that is going to do it for this one, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on to be updated every time I upload. Leave your thoughts down below on some of these crazy things. What do you think about the potential for instant armor kits and reintroducing these into PvP and the linear path and the trees? Everything. Let me know all of your thoughts. I'm super curious what everyone is going to have to say, but I have a feeling this gives us a pretty good idea of what this update is going to entail. And by that I mean major revisions and changes to the endgame of the Division 2, and I really couldn't be more excited. I can't wait for the next month's installment. Of course, I will cover it as soon as it drops on the channel, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, everyone, that's going to do it for me. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next one, guys, RogueGold out.